Hello and welcome to Supreme Commander Forge Alliance. So we got a late night 3v3 Rivers. We got some newer players. We got Kim Session and Web Freak, I believe his name. So these two guys, I gotta see how well they do. Also we got Stigler and Griefer. Griefer, definitely a familiar name, playing with Aeon. And in the back, of course, Psycho Onage, a very good player, and Guido. So pretty good players all around. We'll see how Kim's session goes. He got Aeon. So one thing to note, he's walking all the way to all of his mask extractors. You want to keep your ACU standing still. Just moving really short distances, that'll definitely help. Expanding with engineers, looks like second air. And looking at Web Freak here, a whole bunch of powers planned, and really aggressive with the ACU. So UEF versus Aeon, a very aggressive ACU from the UEF player. From the back players here, looks like second air from Psycho Onage. We gotta see who gets early air control, who can get the drops. Looks like a transport is being constructed by Guido, but he's paused it, perhaps some power problems. Looking at Stigler, big land span, but he's also gonna make an air factory. So that'll be interesting. Also some raiding now, mech marines from Stigler. Put some pressure on a Griefer. Griefer got an engineer. He's going to try to capture the side island. It's an interesting scout here from Kim Session. Perhaps he's looking for any drops that might happen on that island. A couple land factories planned. So I guess one note with Kim Session, you kind of want to always think about where you position your ACU, where you're going to build. Never want to build on top of where you are. For example, these engineers now have to move. It's not a big deal, but here's some tanks moving in, taking out some mask extractors. Also some rocks here. This is free mass. It's a good stuff from Web Freak, but the ACU from Kim Session, actually really good stuff from Web Freak, splitting up his tanks. This tank from Web Freak can cause a lot of damage. These engineers trying to get some land factories for Kim Session. Elsewhere, it looks like Psycho Onage taking over. There's also a counter drop from Guido. And actually Stigler with mech marines. These are such great mech marines. 5 kills among them. They're going to get some more. They could be reclaimed here easily by Psycho Onage if he would choose to do so. But this is pretty ridiculous. Yet another transport now for Psycho Onage. And actually now Stigler running with mech marines all over the map, putting pressure now on Web Freak, who's moved on with his ACU. He's got multiple 3-line factories now, and he's going to get hit by Stigler's mech marines. Finally the ACU here with 2 kills for Psycho Onage. And here power storage next to Hydra. This is a great bombing target. You got 500 health on here. That's 3 bombs from a Tech 1 bomber. We'll take care of that for you. And now push for Kim Session with his Aeon. Looks like a whole bunch of artillery. Doing good things against Web Freak, who should just move in and don't let Kim Session use the range. But that's not happening. One thing to note for Kim Session, no radar here where he's attacking. You always want to bring either. Yeah, so here's his radar. So good stuff. And of course Aeon very vulnerable against Tech 1 bombers. Griefer now with, looks like he's got double gun, taking on Stigler. And a nice push now from Griefer. And Web Freak very impressive with these tanks. 7 kills among them. Did a lot of damage all over the place against Kim Session as well as against Stigler. And now looking at this side island, Psycho Onage completely taken over. Definitely have the better Tech 1 air, and now with quicker drops. Also Griefer has got a few of his units up here as well. So far map control definitely in the hands of the bottom team, but very impressive rating from Stigler. And UEF not getting an upgrade. Of course always a dangerous ECU from Aeon. A little exposed here with 3,700 health, but he's got the double gun, so he's not afraid, I guess. Perhaps yet another push now from Kim Session, leading with the scout. This is where he does have air, and he's got interceptors. He's got to get those up in the air, get some scouting, get some visual, and he would realize there's a point defense here now with 9 kills. Finally gets taken out, but for the most part, killed half of his forces units. You want to sneak up, take out the point defense with your artillery. And in general, with Aeon, you want to keep your distance. So whenever somebody moves against you, you got to pull back. And actually, for newer players, or well, whatever, people can do whatever they want, but for newer players, GEF definitely the easiest to play with, the least amount of micro for what you want to do. The EF tanks, they won't be really awesome like the Aurora could be in the proper hands, but they'll always get the job done if you give them a chance. A bit of an air fight now. Kim Session actually helping out Stigler, and actually they win the air fight. I'm not sure if Kim Session knows this, but if you set your planes on fire at will, when you cycle the fire modes, put them on fire at will instead of firing one by one, makes your planes so much better. Also, some interceptors now moving in from Web Freak. He's just going to sort of throw them away, and Griefer now in a bit of trouble. He's actually got Tech 2 on his ACU, but Tech 2 point defense from Aeon is not going to work against the massive Tech 1, and now gun on Stigler. So looks like Griefer is in quite a bit of trouble here. He does have the gun and Tech 2, so it's a very nice ECU, but there's no way he can survive this. So a little too much confidence from Griefer this entire game, just sort of leaving his ACU, and it's pretty easy for a EF player with such powerful units, Tech 1, and the gun just walks in, and it is now 2v1 with Psycho Onage and Web Freak representing the bottom side. Of course, they still have total map control. Of course, with no give, it's going to be a question of how quickly Web Freak and Psycho Onage can overtake, reclaim this mask, get those mask extractors. One thing to note about Web Freak, he's making Tech 2 land. He's got, and once again here, Kim Session moving in with his Tech 1. Here the Auroras should not be standing still. They should be moving back, trying to use their range. Otherwise, up close, you can see 140 health versus 300. So double the health on each one of these tanks. The big advantage is the range. If you don't use that, you get massacred as Aeon. Of course, still pretty good, nice production. And Tech 2 Air for Kim Session. This is actually a really nice eco, and he's got Tech 2 mask extractors. So definitely pretty good stuff here. One thing, I have not seen his ACU at all the entire game. He does have now Tech 1 naval. Perhaps a submarine is a little unnecessary, but some destroyers would be very nice. Destroyers and cruisers in this area would be very effective. And this is really cool from Kim Session. Just dropped off an engineer here in the corner with that sneaky transport. So definitely good stuff. A bit of micro problems in the middle. Of course, the ACU, if it was up front, just like with Web Freak here, give his units a chance, because so far his attacks have been pretty easily defended by just superior defensive positioning here. And now Stigler pushing through with his Tech 1 force. See Psycho Onage, Tech 3 engineer, Tech 3 ACU. Might as well get the gun. He can get that very quickly with that engineering. He's going to be taking on a pretty large force. Still total Tech 1 air domination from Stigler. All this Tech 2 flak here. I've seen it somewhere. This could be a very big problem for Psycho. Now we're seeing a big spread on Kim Session's unit. And this is really nice. These gunships, this could be very decisive against Web Freak. If Web Freak loses air, it doesn't look like he's got Tech 2 flak. Although he can make that. Actually, he does have Tech 2 flak, so gunship's probably not that good. And of course, total air domination from Psycho Onage. So these gunships need to be hidden somewhere in the back here, otherwise they're very vulnerable. Psycho Onage, he did get the gun, that's nice. So the gun and Tech 3 ACU is going to try to take back the land. Still total map control, however. And this could be an epic drop, given that Psycho Onage has total air control. Put that on like 5 transport, dump him in the back of Guido's base, really turn the game. Looking at Stigler, a whole bunch of Tech 2 power. He's got pretty nice air spam, Tech 2 land spam, so good stuff. Not lots of Tech 2 mask extractors. Looks like Kim Session is kind of, after getting a few of his mask extractors, Tech 2 decided to switch to mass storage, but perhaps in this situation, better to just pick up those mask extractors real quick. And now the Tech 2 land for Web Freak plus the point defense forcing Kim Session to retreat. And he's got to get some sort of Tech 2 here if he wants to defend against this. And actually some trouble perhaps from Psycho Onich. 37 kills, but got the overcharge defending quite nicely. And we might see a UEF on UEF ACU fight. At Tech 2 ACU, however, now getting hit by some bombers. Tech 3 air now from Guido. Tech 3 versus Tech 1. Plus a whole bunch of bombers from Psycho Onich against Stigler. So this is the fight between the two best players in this game. The two UEF players. Psycho getting some Tech 2 power. Looks like he's got power problems. Tech 3 air. You should get a Tech 3 engineer. Only was sitting on Tech 2 powers. This is not a good time to have economy problems. And here come the gunships from Kim Session. This is tragic. You can see they're all getting shot out of the air. So that's each one of those about 200 mass. So you can see that's approximately 2 Tech 2 mass extractors that he could have put into these. But it's nice to be aggressive. Also, is this Tech 2? Cruisers, yes. Great choice from Kim Session there. These cruisers are going to give a big advantage in this area. 45 kills, multiple Tech 2. Still power problems. Just so much build capacity on that ASF. It's so expensive now. And this is still be a great target to bomb. Kim Session now once again pushing up. Nice to see some Tech 2 shields and Tech 2 power. Actually, even though Kim Session is a new player, he's playing quite well. Usually noobs don't do things like this. Take a Tech 2 engineer with a shield and Tech 2 PD. This is good stuff. Definitely hold on to this. Don't change this part of your game. If you change anything, just a couple micro details. And some air staging now from Psycho Onich. You can see so much build capacity on this ACU. And with Tech 3 PD, it'll be a big trouble for Stigler unless he goes Tech 3 himself. He's got a lot of build capacity with some drones. And now moving into Web Freak's base. Web Freak in a lot of trouble. He basically just lost his entire base there. Great move from Stigler. And now counter drop from Guido taking over. So map control slipping away from Psycho Onich. Psycho Onich moving in this ACU trying to save Web Freak's base, but that's going to be very difficult to do. See how quickly artillery takes care of those units. Great stuff from Web Freaks, pausing his shields. You always got to do that when you run out of power. Web Freak saying whatever, I'm just going to push. He definitely has good air support, has plenty of build capacity. Tech 2 ACU is going to capture a few factories, so he's going to get a base, a new base for himself. Not showing a lot of respect, but really great stuff. And looks like he's got major power problems. You can see how long it takes to capture. So good stuff. Recovery from Psycho Onich. If he gets some Tech 3 PDs in this area, he'll be able to defend. He'll actually push Stigler back. Stigler's got some stealth there, however, so a very nice fire base. Web Freak rolling through. And this is really the big difference. Kim Session completely not using his ACU. There's so many cool toys you can put on the ACU, like Tech 2 Engineering, which allows you to capture really quickly. And this Tech 2 Land also doing really well. So Kim Session really going down to superior tech in the use of an ACU. And here's the Tech 3 PD, which is expected for most of this game from Psycho Onich. And this is not a good thing for Stigler, although he's going to get a Tech 3 of his own very quickly. So much build capacity. But a lot in these fights go down to who gets Tech 3 PD first. And then after that it's all about build capacity. So definitely an advantage in terms of going first from Psycho Onich, but more build capacity for Stigler. We should see Tech 3 PD now for Stigler. Web Freak still rolling through. Some Tech 2 point defense. And really, in this situation, Kim Session needs to get some TMD. Nice to see Guido helping him out here. Still, for the most part, had his base, and with all this Tech 2 point defense, he should be able to hold on. Where is the cruiser?
Here's the cruiser. Expect that to get a lot of kills for Kim Session. And now you can see Stigler evacuating. He was going to get some Tech 3 PD of his own, but this is a very good looking base for Psycho Onage. And this will be a huge loss for Stigler. Perhaps he's going to run back, try to reestablish it. And this is great defense here. If one good move here for Stigler, if he had a whole bunch of Tech 1 artillery, he can just move through. But this is a great defense against Tech 1. A Web Freak realizing he doesn't have much of a base. And this perhaps is going to turn into a 3v1. Psycho Onage continues to move. Is facing Tech 3 PD of his own. Getting some more shields. Tech 2 power spam now for Psycho Onage. Surprised it does not have Tech 3 yet. Tech 3 power for Gaida, so that's a huge advantage. And now it looks like superior build capacity working out for Stigler. And the gunships Tech 3. So Kim Session going with Tech 3 air. Can never go wrong with the restorers. The Web Freak really has no answer. Even with a single Tech 2 flak, he won't be able to stay alive for too long. So nice to see Guido help him out, save his base, and this Tech 3 air from Kim Session should take care of the problem. But this ACU's got to get more than one kill. Yeah, this does not look good. UEF ACU with so many drones, so much build capacity is getting those Tech 3 PDs up so quick. So he's basically not making much. He's recycling his structures, getting some Tech 3 mask structures. Perhaps his eco is not that good, but so much ASF and a fatty now for Guido. Completely took over on the side, all Tech 2 mask structures. Does not look good. The Web Freak is now going to have to deal with a whole bunch of Tech 2 from Stigler. It looks like Stigler is going to steal this win from Kim Session. And it is now officially a 3v1. So one good move that Kim Session could do here, looks like he is going with Tech 3 Navy, is get the missile ship from Aeon. That'd be extremely powerful here. One thing we got to note was as Psycho Onage was busy trying to save his allies here, he completely forgot that he's spent so much eco on this part of the map, so many Tech 1 units, and he had air control for a really long time. He could have done a lot of damage, but seems that he was a little too busy. For the most part, a stalemate here between these two players. And of course, in terms of air control, total domination by Guido. Yeah, this is going to build up until somebody gets a power surge or just gets too many T3 PDs. My money is on Stigler at this point. Psycho Onage definitely doing good, but now you can see he's losing his shields. That's not a good sign. He's got to get some of those shields rebuilt. Yeah, now it is going to be game over for Psycho Onage. He's just lost his base. It looks like he is just going to give up. So at minute 30, Stop Side is going to get the victory. A very well played game. Nice to see new players playing very well. So hopefully they look even better in the next one.